Hey everyone and welcome back. There's still an issue about Magic Online and Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. Well, we are talking about two main issues, but I think that not having all the set on Magic Online is of course more worrisome. Well, the second issue is not having enough copies of the remaining part of Commander Legend Baldur's Gate cards. An example, Basilisk Gate and all the other Pauper's playable cards in Baldur's Gate, because they're out of stock from bots like Godbot or Card Order. So even if you are able to find those cards, they will likely be pricey, and they will likely be not many copies to get your playset. And seems kind of worrisome, this thing, because Basilisk Gate alongside the mana fixing gates, an example Sea Gate or Hip Gate, which is the filter land, can be playable in a lot and in a large variety of different decks. An example, the Azirius Control played by Zune, and also decks like Burroughs Metrocraft, or also weird enough in decks like Infect, because Alexandra Weber recorded a league with this peculiar version of Infect. I'm not really saying that playing Basilisk Gate and the other gates is the correct choice in Infect, but still I'm worried by the fact that you may fit Basilisk Gate and so the other gate in a large variety of different decks, and Basilisk Gate is good. I wasn't expecting Basilisk Gate to be playable, but since it can gives your creatures a randomic buff, and since the main removal spells in the format are rather removals, maybe for that reason Basilisk Gate can be considered a cheap win condition. Also keep in mind that it's pretty easy and pretty free to fit Basilisk Gate in a big color deck, since you are adding something like 3 or more colorless lands alongside other mana fixing tap lands. Nothing that does really cost a lot. I mean, well, returning to the main issue, still not having the initiative card, I'm still not be sure that we'll get the initiative card in on Magic Online is worrying. The other issue, not having enough copies, is not really troublesome right now. Also because Wizard already know that there aren't enough copies, and they already say that they'll eventually add more copies. But regarding the problem about the break games and Magic Online, well, the best thing you can do as a player is just complain on Twitter. I'm not sure about you people which is watching this video in English, but at least for us Italian is kind of weird or unexpected to be able to be in touch with the company through Twitter, because usually we don't really use Twitter, and so for that reason we usually expect that emails or other social networks eventually will be plenty enough to have a talk with whatever company or I person from Wizard, and seems to be that just strictly complaining on Twitter and tagging Daybreak Games and Wizards, Magical Line, Wizards of the Coast or whatever, is the most likable best strategy to get the Commander Legends Baldur's Gate cards, Baldur's Gate cards on Magical Line. So for that reason, just whenever you have the change, example, you want to build a deck on Magical Line and you don't have an initiative card or Kangaroo Artificer or whatever Baldur's Gate card in that list, and you aren't able to get the cards, just wrote a tweet on Twitter and tag someone. That seems pretty simple, seems just too easy to get those cards just by writing on Twitter. Well, we are not sure if by complaining on Twitter we will be able to get the cards, but if we don't do that, well, I can assure you that the Daybreak game will not add those cards on Magical Line. And I was kind of surprised on discovering how and why the cards from Commander Legends Baldur's Gate are not available on Magical Line. Well, the reason is pretty simple. So, as you already probably know, Magical Line already moved its programming part to Daybreak Games. So the contract they signed forced Daybreak Games to program all the cards only from the standard expansion, and for that reason sets that aren't available on standard, well, Daybreak Games is not forced to program the cards on Magical Line unless they have enough time. And well, with Baldur's Gate they didn't have time to program everything, or they just didn't want to program the cards, and we just need to tweet again in the game asking to get those cards. Eventually we can also open a ticket on Magical Line complaining that we don't have those cards and we want those cards to be added on Magical Line, and I guess we can try both of those roads since we don't really have much to lose here, just some time. Well, I thought about also talking about the Monasteries with Spear and the impact of the metagame about this new card, but I think we can wait the next week to talk about that, because also I want to let the metagame settle a little more before talking about. Well, the challenge metagame seems kind of weird till now, because a lot of decks that were seen playing in the previous weeks seems to not be played much anymore, and the metagame moved mostly towards aggressive decks like Rakdos Burn, Mono-Red Blitz and Boggles, which is weird, and for that reason I just wanted to wait. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next week.